video is continuing in our basic stitches, and I'm going to show you how to do what the Americans call a double crochet and what in UK terms is a treble crochet. This is a fairly standard stitch, particularly for garments and things where you want to have a fairly full fabric, not too holey, but equally you don't want to be making it all day. So I've done a starting chain just to get me going. Now with this one, your pattern will normally say something like to work in the second or the third chain from your hook. So I'm going to go into this one. So starting here, we need to wrap our yarn over before we go in. So this is where it's different to our single or double crochet in UK terms. And then we go in to our chain, wrap around again and come out. So you've now got 3 loops on your hook. We're going to wrap around again and pull through just the first 2 stitches, leaving us, loops, leaving us with 2 loops here, and then wrap around again and through those last 2. Okay, so it makes a taller stitch. So I'll show you again, wrap around, I'm going to go into my chain, wrap around again and pull through, so 3 loops on my hook, yarn over there, pull through the first 2, leaving you with 2, yarn over again and through those last 2. So at the top, you've still got your stitch the same as you have in your single or UK double, but you've got more height in your actual stitch. So yarn over first, then into your loop of your chain, yarn over again, pull through to your 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through those 2. Okay, yarn over, in here, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through there. Now I'm just going to show you this little mistake here. I did it on the last stitch as well. This little thread here, because this particular yarn is quite splitty, I've not quite fully come through one of my loops. I've left a bit of the yarn. So for me, I'm just going to bring that through as well. You'll usually notice, because it'll feel like it's a bit tight, you've not quite pulled it properly. So yeah, I see I've done it again there, and it's just this particular type of yarn. It's a bit splitty, so I just need to make sure I come through the whole of that bit. So yarn over, in my loop, yarn over, and through the first 2. There you go, I did it nice and clean that time. Yarn over and through 2 again. I'm going to just keep going to the end of this row, and then I'm going to show you coming back how it would look going into the stitch rather than the chain. It's not a particularly nice chain that I've made with this yarn, but all yarns are slightly different depending on how they're made, how many ply they are. Sometimes some fibres play nicer than others. There we go. Yarn over those 2 and over those 2. So when you get to the end, as with most patterns, if you're working in the flat, you can see there, I've got my stitches here and they're that bit taller. When you're working in the flat and you get to the end, your instruction will either say chain so many and then turn, or then turn and then chain. So it's usually 2 or 3 for this particular stitch, and it basically just adds height before you start your next stitch, rather than going in from the bottom. You've got a bit of height there. Sometimes your pattern will tell you that this counts as a stitch, sometimes it won't, so do read the instructions at the start of your pattern so that you know whether that's counting as a stitch. So now that I've turned, I'm going to be working into this bit here. Okay, so when you look at the top, I've got those 2 strands. I'm going to go underneath both of them. All right, so remembering, yarn over first, under there, yarn over again and pull through, so you've got your 3 loops, yarn over and pull through 2, again that's just split there, yarn over and pull through again, yarn over, through there, through the loops underneath, yarn over, pull back through, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through again, and you just keep going like that into the stitches you've already made, and you get another lovely row. My ball of yarn is invading here, of your double in US terms or treble in UK terms. And as with most stitches, once you've got past that first row going into the chain, it tends to work a lot more smoothly, a lot more quickly. Okay, I've used quite a big hook here, so you can see I've got gaps in between my stitches. If I wanted this to be more dense, could just use a smaller hook. This is the one recommended on the ball band for this yarn, but a smaller hook would make that a little bit closer. It's not quite as close as a single / double crochet stitch, which is why we use that stitch for amigurumi and this one not so much, because obviously if I tried to make a toy or anything with this, the stuffing would come through the holes. But if you're trying to make a jumper or something like that, this is quite nice. You'd have to wear something under it, but it works up a lot quicker, and you've got a good sort of thickness and warmth to your yarn there. And that's the end of today's video.